What's going on, Geminites? GemMint here with today's new comic book day reviews. It's Wednesday, March 31st, and we do this video every Wednesday going over today's new comics as spoiler-free as possible. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video. Plus, we have a giveaway going on for our next subscriber milestone of 125,000, where we're giving away a Spider-Man Premium Format exclusive statue by Sideshow. Stay tuned to the end of the video, not only for my pick of the week, but details on how to enter the giveaway. Plus, we are at the halfway mark for our second exclusive variant cover with Dynamite Entertainment, our Invincible Red Sonja 1 cover drawn by our daughter Jade Hope. We're crowdfunding this through Indiegogo, and you can find the link in the description below. You can get the regular cover, the Virgin, Black and White, CGC 9.8 options, Signature Series, and Remarks as well. Once we hit $10,000, we're going to unlock the first perk, which is a trading card of the artwork. So be sure to back the cover if you haven't done so already. With that out of the way, let's take a look at this week's book. So we're going to start with Marvel and X-Men 19 by Jonathan Hickman, Esrar, and Go. So this is a part 2 of a story featuring Darwin, Synch, and X-23, and they're in the vault. The vault reminds me of the world where Phantom X is from, where they go inside this vault. They have the Children of the Vault, which was an older storyline, and it's basically this self-contained little world where time moves differently. They spend hundreds of years in the vault, and they're trying to basically now find their way out. Now, I really like this issue. At first, it was a little bit kind of bland, but I think towards the end, with the relationship between X-23 and Darwin, I thought that was really touching, and I really like where they went with that. Same great artwork that you would expect out of a Reign of X title, and this issue was a good one. Sticking with the X-Men, we're going to go X-Men Legends issue 2. This is by Fabian Nicieza, Booth, Corona, and Guru EFX. As you can see by the cover, this is your extreme 90s X-Men. This actually takes place after one of Fabian's stories from the 90s and continues with the Summers clan lineage with the latest of the Summers brothers, Adam Summers, is it? So we find out all about his origin and how he was created, how he's related to the Summers. It kind of ends with like a mind wipe and then Adam going to do his own thing. What I really liked about this issue, first of all, I love 90s comics, and if you're a fan of mutants in the 90s, you're going to like this X-Men Legends series. But I like the little table at the end, the kind of family tree of the Summers, and it really explains a lot of things. I might do a whole video just based on that if I get some more inspiration. But overall, I definitely enjoyed the issue. All right, then we have Beta Ray Bill issue 1. This is part 1 of a 5-issue miniseries by Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer. This almost got pick of the week. You're following the exploits of Beta Ray Bill after what happened in the Thor saga. So Beta Ray does not have Stormbreaker anymore. It was destroyed. And it's kind of touching on the fact that Beta Ray Bill is always playing second fiddle to Thor. He's always living in Thor's shadow, and it's evident here when he can't defeat I don't want to give away who the symbiote monster is, because it's kind of a cool little nod to somebody else from the Silver Age, or actually I think from before, pre-hero times. Anyway, it kind of loosely ties into King in Black, but it's really a Beta Ray solo story, and I loved it. I love the stuff with him and Lady Sif. He's kind of stuck in this form because that horse face, that's not his true form, but he's stuck like that because he doesn't have Stormbreaker. So it seems like he's going to try to hunt down Odin, have him forge him a new hammer so that he can try to become beautiful again. His words, not mine. Love this issue. Almost got pick of the week. All right, then we're going to move on to Silk number 1. So I guess this is the first issue of a new ongoing. It's by Marine Go, Takashi Miyazawa, and Ian Herring. So didn't enjoy this issue, man. This one felt like it wasn't really geared toward me. And I'm wearing my Spider-Man shirt. Silk's on the shirt. But I'm just not really digging the Silk character. I mean, it's really just like a Spider-Man ripoff, bitten by the same radioactive spider, working for J. Jonah Jameson in his new paper, but she's a reporter, not a photographer. So just like, what's the point? Like, what's the difference between Peter Parker and this character? So I don't know. It just felt kind of bland. It kind of felt something that would be more like aimed towards my teenage daughters. They would probably have enjoyed it more than me. I just wasn't digging it. And then the last Marvel book, we have a King in Black one-shot, Ghost Rider. This is by Ed Brisson, Frigeri, and Keith. I was loving the Ghost Rider run. I was one of the few people, I guess, reading it, and I was sad to see it go. So this really tied up all the loose ends from that canceled series with Johnny Blaze being the ruler of hell and having Mephisto in tow kind of as his captive, and meeting up with Donny Cates, who is now Death Rider as opposed to Ghost Rider. So I really like how they they use this issue as an excuse to kind of like tie up the loose ends and kind of leave it open to future Ghost Rider stories, loosely tying in with King in Black with the symbiote dragons and just fighting those in the streets. So I enjoyed it. I'm a sucker for some Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze, Donny Cates team-ups. Moving over to DC, we have The Flash issue 768, which is just keeping legacy numbering for Infinite Frontier. This is by Adams, Peterson, Santucci, Atea, and Guerrero. So I really enjoyed this. Wally West wants to throw up the speedster shoes. He doesn't want to be the Flash anymore. He's constantly putting his loved ones in danger. So Barry Allen's going to help detach the Speed Force from him, but something goes wrong and Wally gets displaced in time. Now, it's not so much that he time traveled. His consciousness seems to be going into other bodies in prehistoric time, then to the future, and we're not really sure what's going on. It seems like the Speed Force might need Wally because Wally has a stronger connection to the Speed Force. The art was kind of all over the place here, and I guess it matched the eras that it was in. I wasn't really digging the initial artwork where it was Barry and Wally with the Justice League. Like, I didn't like that Batman. It looks like kind of like Adam West Batman. But the prehistoric stuff was cool. The future stuff was cool, where he's inside of Bart's body now. So Wally's consciousness inside of Bart. So yeah, I mean, overall, I like the issue. I didn't dig the art at first, but I think it redeemed itself. Got some Tom King double headers going on here. We're going to start with Batman, Catwoman, issue 4. He's joined by Clay Mann and Tamu Mori. And just by the cover, it's like, whoa, this story's kind of gone off the rails here. It's always played with different times, right? So the future timeline with Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle's daughter. She's kind of interrogating some of the old rogues gallery like Penguin, trying to find out more about her mother. Then it's showing basically the current time where Catwoman has these secrets about her relationship with Joker and hiding stuff from Batman. So she kind of lets it all out here. Batman goes to disable the bomb that Joker has left under the ice rink. And it looks like this is putting a huge strain on their relationship. Kind of that last couple of panels was really kind of like F you Batman kind of stuff. But I dug the issue. It keeps you guessing, man. You never know what's going to happen when you turn the page in a Tom King book. And moving on over to Strange Adventures, Tom King is joined by Mitch Gerads and Evan Shaner. So the cat's out of the bag. The manifesto was released by the Justice League on what Adam Strange is being accused of doing. What are his war crimes on Rand? And his wife's out there doing the press circuit, kind of defending him. Like, yo, this is war. These people want to invade us. He's just doing what anybody else would have done if it was your life on the line or to save your planet. So that's all going on while Adam Strange is kind of trying to talk with Batman and Superman and like, dude, what's the deal? We fight side by side. He's rescuing Batman during this issue. And it's funny because Mr. Terrific was the one that did all the investigations, but he's not the one who put out the manifesto. It was the Justice League. And I guess Adam Strange, he's kind of not fitting their squeaky clean image because he got his hands dirty during the war. So, yeah, I'm digging the series. These will be good reads once the story's complete because it feels like it's been monthly or more between issues, but I've always been digging the Strange Adventures run. Then we're going to move on to the indie stuff. Starting with Boom, we have Power Rangers Unlimited. This is by L.L. McKinney, Simone Ragazzoni, and Igor Monti. So this is an $8 book, Heir to Darkness, and I usually rant and rave about the Power Ranger stuff. This one, I don't think it was really worth it. The whole point of this was basically introducing this character who, it can't be right, but Rangers killed her family. She's been adopted by this like evil sect who's been training her since she's a child to be a Ranger hunter. And it just feels like an origin one-shot because she's going to be introduced into the main storyline. You could probably figure that out reading the main storyline without this $8 one-shot that had no Rangers in it whatsoever. There was kind of like some Zeo Rangers in the beginning, but you didn't get faces or names. It was just kind of like a small little battle. So, I mean, the issue ended better. The first like half or so, I wasn't really feeling it. It ended pretty well, but it was kind of like your tropey chosen one keeps losing and finally proves herself to the Overlord kind of a thing. I don't know. I just wasn't really digging it. The artwork was your typical Power Rangers neon flashy type of look to it. But I don't know, I just didn't feel like it was necessary. And then moving over to, I said they were both Boom Studios, IDW doing Sea of Sorrows. This is by Doak, Cormac, and Birch. Love that cover, and it's a fun issue. It reminds me of like a Hill House Comics title that Black Label was doing. a couple of months ago. So it's kind of like this pirate heist type of ship. They dig up those sunken ships looking for treasure. There's all kinds of conflicts going on with the humans. And then there's like some monster mermaids underwater that have this singing that they do to, like, I guess put people in a trance or put people under their spell. It's a song of sorrow, hence the title, which is, it's kind of cool. You have like this very dark, murky blackness, how the water is portrayed. It's an interesting story. I'm down to see where it goes. All right, guys, moving over to Image Comics. I read all these digitally, and we're going to start with Donny Cates' Crossover, issue number 5. He's joined by Jeff Shaw, D. Kanifi, and John J. Hill. This was a pretty explosive, action-packed issue, and they kind of introduced the idea of these beings that were created with DNA from the characters from the comic world and the real world. So you're kind of getting these Easter eggs of characters, like you kind of got like a Wolverine type of looking character. It almost looks like a Wolverine from Infinity War, like a doppelganger Wolverine character. You have the Mad Max character kind of leading the pack, and it was just like a big issue. Like a lot happened. It was very much like an action-packed issue, trying to get to the dome, trying to have Ellie, the main character, find her parents. Now the little girl from the comic universe that they picked up has now kind of shown what her powers are, and it seems like it's more than she can handle. So our character with the kryptonite bullet looks like he might have to use it, and it's not for the reason that he anticipated. So crossover by Donny Cates, gotta love it. Then we're gonna move over to Hickman's Decorum with issue 7. He's joined by Huddleston, and man, this one feels like it's been a while since it came out as well. I appreciate what Hickman and Huddleston do with this, but it's a very confusing book. The art style changes 3 or 4 times throughout. The story is kind of like, they have some very large aspects to it that I don't fully grasp. But what I do like is this whole kind of hunting of this egg. These alien creatures want this egg. The assassins are tasked to find it. Our assassin finds it, and it hatches. And the being that comes out is kind of like, I guess it's the character on the cover. It's kind of like a man out of time kind of thing. Got to put a disguise on him and to be able to bring him into the real world. So I kind of followed along as best as I could with Decorum. I tried a new number 1 from Image, Shadecraft by Henderson, Gabret, Fabella, and Bowen. It was an okay issue. So this basically, you have this girl on the cover. You can see she's followed by these shadows. So we're introduced to her, and when she's in the dark with her friend, it seems like the shadows are trying to attack her. Now she sounds crazy around everyone at school. We find out that her brother was in a car accident. He's in a coma in the house. The mother's kind of taking care of him, and the shadow stuff kind of has to deal with her brother. So that's an interesting aspect here. Good enough to hook me for an issue 2. All right, moving on over to Spawn 316 with Todd McFarlane and Carlo Barberi. So we're still dealing with this big battle between Spawn, Medieval Spawn, the Omega Spawn, and now the Plague Spawn, this kind of symbiote-looking Spawn that came from the underworld who is extremely powerful. And basically, it's Plague versus Omega Spawn in this issue. Great artwork. It feels like Spawn comics should feel. It's kind of teasing the little stuff that's going to happen with the Spawn universe, with She-Spawn at the end. She's still on the hunt to find out who killed her roommate Nyx, which happened, I think, in issue 300 or 301. And we know that Gunslinger Spawn, Medieval Spawn, they're going to get their own spin-off series, which I'm down for. Digging Spawn. All right, then we have Two Moons issue 2. This one's by Arcudi, Gian Giordano, Crabtree, and Heisler. So, I always like to try to pick up the new number 1s, and if they hook me, like with the last issue I just mentioned, Shadecraft, I like to, keep it going. So this takes place during the Revolutionary War. You have our main character who is Native American, but he was adopted by the Americans. He kind of grew up with them and fighting in the American army. There's a supernatural aspect here, which it seems like only he can see, which has kind of got him in trouble with the army. So they want to hang him, they want to kill him. He gets rescued. He's getting visions from like his ancestors in his dreams and kind of having him follow the path and things like that. So so far it's been an interesting series. I'm down to ride with it for a little bit and see where it goes. All right, guys, last book in the stack. This is my pick of the week, and what's funny is the last issue of this was my least favorite of the series, but now Department of Truth issue 7, not only my favorite issue of the series so far, my pick of the week easily. And this is by James Tynion IV, Boss, Titov, and Bidikar. So Department of Truth plays with the idea that reality is based on what the majority of the population thinks. That's how it works. So this run deals a lot with conspiracy theories, and in this issue they tackle UFOs and the Men in Black. I love that storyline. I've always been interested with that stuff in real life anyway. This Lee Harvey Oswald is kind of a new inductee into the Department of Truth. He's trying to learn the ropes, and he is forced to read all of these books and documents in their library, and he's to meet with this person, Doc. Everyone thinks it's going to be a doctor. It's some teenage kid with a tinfoil hat who explains his research into the Men in Black, the UFOs, and his encounters. Love the issue. I love the storytelling here. I thought it was great. And it kind of lets you know this series is going to bounce around from different type of themes and topics, all under this kind of conspiracy theory umbrella. All right, there we have it. Let me know what you thought about this week and what your pick of the week was in the comments down below. Like I said, we're giving away a Spider-Man premium format exclusive statue by Sideshow once we hit 125,000 subscribers. All you got to do is be subscribed and leave a comment on this video and any other video where we promoted the giveaway. Once we hit the milestone, we'll do a Sunday live stream, pick a random video where the giveaway was promoted, and use a random YouTube comment generator to draw a worldwide winner. Besides subscribing to the channel, if you want to help out in any other way, you can check our partners at Street Level Hero, who have exclusive variants that they drop new ones every Tuesday and Thursday. Right now, they have an amazing Batman 108 by Marco Mastrazzo, an Alien 2 cover by Marco, an awesome Wolverine 11 by Dave Raposa, as well as a Star Wars High Republic. If you use the code GemMint at checkout, you'll save 10% on any item and anytime you shop there. That code is good for life. It'll greatly support the channel. Plus, you get some exclusive variants. I appreciate you guys watching, but don't go anywhere. Check out last week's new comic book day reviews if you missed it, and stay minty fresh. Peace.